So sorry I'm late. I was making our like tutorial videos on my Lightroom workflow and how to use the tools in Lightroom. And I was talking in the video and then I noticed it was 1:05 and I was like, oh crap, I need to get off here because yeah. So I have those videos made, so I'll post those videos after this one. And so you can see how I do my Lightroom workflow and how I use the tools, the tool like panel in Lightroom to like Photoshop my images. So that's coming. The questions this week are really good and I'm really excited to talk about them. So here we go, not wasting any time. The first question was, how in the world do I caption my posts? And this is something that like I still struggle with on the daily. Sometimes I feel like super inspired and I want to like share my life and share my heart, and then some days I'm just like in a funk and I'm like, I don't feel like it. But you know, it is important when you're a photographer to post every day, to connect with your audience, to find your ideal client. And so my advice is to always have these 5 things kind of like in your pocket that you can post something even when you don't feel like it or you have nothing to say. So the first one is you can simply talk about the story of that image. So if I post an image of a father-daughter dance, I could just say, instead of saying like, look at this sweet father-daughter dance, you can say, you know, this was such a special moment because Sarah is the only daughter her father ever had, and kind of like tell the story of the image. So that's the first thing, just kind of like, instead of just saying what we can all see, yeah, we know it's a father-daughter dance, tell us the story. Your audience wants to ultimately be entertained. So if they can read a short story about this picture, it's way more entertaining than just telling you what the picture is. We have eyes, we know what the picture is. Tell me about the picture. Another thing besides the story is your experience. Your personal experience. So if it's a father-daughter dance, you can say, I totally bawled my eyes out as I watched this father-daughter dance because I know one day this will be Thomas and Bonnie. So like, this is not the story of them. This is like my version of what I see when I see this image. So your story, your experience. Another thing you can do is you can post like a client tip. So let's just keep it with the father-daughter dance. So if they, you know, post a picture of a bride and her father, you can say, brides, here are the top 5 father-daughter dance songs of 2019. Or if you want to extend your father-daughter dance, here is a 10-minute father-daughter dance song. So just something, some kind of like tip you can give to your client that can be a post. If you are a photographer and you're trying to be, like if you're educating photographers like me, say, photographers, here's a tip for your father-daughter dance. Use an 85mm lens so you can get true emotions from the father without being close to his face. So yeah, you can have a tip for every single picture that you post, either for your clients, future clients, or for other photographers. Another thing, and this is just kind of like me personally, because I'm all about just being meaningful and real. You can post just like a meaningful message. And so I do that quite often, because like talking about fear, talking about failure, talking about real life, like make yourself human and not just like this perfect photographer that people sometimes want to think that they are, which we're not. We're human. We suck sometimes. Just, you know, put that out there into the world because it makes people connect with you. Like, put a meaningful message out there. And then the last post tip I have for you is, oh, whoops, hold on. The last post tip I have for you is to post just about you. Even if it's not a picture about you, post about what you're doing that day, post about why you started photography, post about my 3 favorite Netflix series, just anything and everything about you, even if it's a picture of a bouquet or whatever. People ultimately just want to know who's behind the camera. That's what people want to know about. And so just post anything. It can be stupid, like my favorite toilet paper, like whatever, anything. And you always have something that you can tell people about you, even if you can't think about a meaningful message, or you can't think of a client tip, you can't think about like the story, you have no idea what the story is, you never asked, but you can always talk about yourself. We're good at that. So yeah, those are my tips. Talk about the story of the image, your experience, like your view of the image. A client tip. So like tip for a family, like if you're a family photographer, like moms, here's one great tip that you can prepare your kids for your photography session. So tips, a meaningful message, something from your heart, or just something about you in general. So I hope that helps. And I can like write those 5 things